While this is an... While the... Don't touch... Don't touch... Don't touch... While this is... While this is... It's a length of wire. The intercom crackles and you hear...
Wolfie, it's Olympia. If you can hear me, meet me in the armor room at 2 o'clock. You promised to show me your private scars, remember? See you there, Wolfcakes.
While you hear muffled voices coming through...
Interesting. I'd never noticed that before.
You never noticed what, my love?
You have a tattoo of the Eiffel Tower on the inside of your left eye.
Ah, you are doing this to distract me, no? But I am worried about you, my Ernie. You are so big and so strong. But this ice pick fellow, he is a dangerous one, no?
Yeah, he's dangerous. But I'll pay him his dough. Ernie Leach always pays his debts.
Maybe you can do some more fencing for this Big Al. He pays well.
Yeah, Big Al's a good customer. But there's only so much fencing I can do for one guy.
This ice pick might try to make the example of you before you can pay him off. He keeps leaving these threatening messages.
Don't worry, baby. Icepick knows he won't get his dough if he kills me. Maybe I can get into a hot poker game down at the Harlem Swinger and win enough money to pay him off.
No. The gambling is what got you into this mess, my Ernie.
Yeah, maybe you're right. But I've got bigger problems tonight. I saw something I wasn't supposed to see.
What?
You're better off if I don't tell you about it. Now, what's this on the top of your Eiffel Tower tattoo?
I think you know what it is, my Ernie. You've seen it before.
And I always enjoy seeing it again, baby.
Ah, you American men are so charming. You hear nothing of interest.
Oh, good evening, Miss Bow.
Hi, Dr. Miklos. I'm sorry if I startled you.
Oh, that's okay. I enjoy being startled. And please, call me Olympia.
Okay, Olympia. You enjoy being startled?
It gets the blood flowing. I love it. I was just trying to find Daisy, my ferret. She usually has the run of the museum, but it's time for me to feed her.
And you think she might be in here?
Well, she's been spending a lot of time in here lately for some reason. She probably likes the unusual smells. Who knows?
Can I help you look for her?
Thanks, but I'm sure I can find her. Would you mind leaving me for a while so she'll come out of hiding?
Certainly. Sorry to disturb you. Good evening, Dr. Smith.
Miss Bow, I did not expect to see you here.
Ah, but I knew you were coming.
You did? How?
How is not important. The question is, why are you here?
I had an appointment with Dr. Carter.
You must be aware that he's dead.
Dead? Why, I had no idea.
Died right here in this room, as a matter of fact. I'm surprised you hadn't heard.
I'm shocked. I don't know what to say.
I bet you don't. Where were you at 8 p.m. when he died?
At the party, of course. You saw me there.
Actually, I didn't see you there at that time.
But you must. Oh, well, there was the phone call.
Phone call.
Mr. Heimlich told me I had a call waiting on Dr. Carrington's telephone. When I arrived in his office, the line was dead. So I returned to the party.
Was Dr. Carrington in his office?
No, he was at the party.
Did Mr. Heimlich tell you who was calling?
No, he didn't take the call, and I don't know who told him about it.
You and Dr. Carter seem to argue a lot about the Dagger of Amon Ra.
We had our differences of opinion, yes.
Did you kill him?
Miss Bow, I am shocked that you would ask me such a thing. I am leaving.
We'll talk again later.
The corpse is wearing a black tuxedo jacket, especially around the neck. Upon close inspection you find it purplish, which is normal for this sort of wound. A few tuxedo threads are stuck in. The blood has begun to clot, darkening and thickening whether or not this blood is or both. Close inspection reveals that these It's Ziggy's head!
What is going on in here?
I'd say you've got some explaining to do, young lady. Why are you screaming?
I found Mr. Ziggy's head.
Very odd how you are always finding the bodies, Miss Bow. I think we should be going back to my office and interrogating you now.
Here now, Wolf. The young lady just found a man's head. Give her a moment before you get out your thumb screws then.
Thank you, Mr. O'Reilly.
Don't thank me, lass. I'm not saying you didn't kill the man. I'm just trying to restrain Mr. Heimlich's enthusiasm for his job.
But I will get results. Let me talk to her privately.
Now I realize you're just trying to help, Wolf, but I think we can learn what we need from the lass without harming her.
She could lie and you'd never know it. You Americans are too soft on your criminals.
I just walked in and found his head, that's all.
Well, Mr. Heimlich does have his point, lass. It's a wee bit curious that you keep showing up at the murder scenes before anyone else. How do you explain that, then?
Just lucky, I guess.
Well, you do seem a wee bit small to be sawing off a man's head, I'll say that much.
Thanks.
This Fräulein could have had help. Or maybe she's very clever.
Or maybe you're trying to pin the murders on her, so you can find the murderer and save your job, eh?
My job is quite secure, Herr O'Reilly.
Oh, really now? A security chief who allows burglars to steal the exhibits, then overlooks several murders happening under his nose. I'd think twice about your security methods if I was running things here.
This is hardly the place to discuss my methods, Herr O'Reilly. We have a suspect to interrogate.
Correction. We have a murder scene to investigate. We can talk to the lass later when she's had a chance to calm down.
Thank you again, sir.
You're a sturdy one, I'll say that much for you. One scream and you've got your head together again, so to speak. Just don't try to leave the museum.
I can't leave. I'm locked in.
Good. We won't have to worry about you then. All right, Wolf. We've got work to do. Let's go get the crime scene tools.
You don't want to tamper with the evidence. You pick it up and place it in your purse. While the topics of these books interest you, this bookshelf is dedicated. This bookshelf is. This book. This book. This bookshelf. This book. These are books on. This bookshelf is dedicated to the topic. This bookshelf. This bookshelf is dedicated. This bookshelf is dedicated to the topic of mid. This bookshelf. This bookshelf. These are books. This bookshelf is dedicated. This bookshelf. This bookshelf is dedicated. This bookshelf is dedicated to a complete collect. This bookshelf is dead. Apparently these gardening books were left here by the previous. This bookshelf is dedicated. This bookshelf. This bookshelf. This bookshelf is. This bookshelf is dedicated Joe Bob's Weapons of the World for This bookshelf is dedicated to the topic of music. For some reason, the spine on this book has been turned round to face the wall, hiding the title. The poetry book falls open to a poem, pinned to it. The note attached to the garter reads, "The handwriting is female. You pick it up and place it in your purse." That's not the sort of thing you want to examine too closely. The note attached to the garter reads, "A lacy black garter with the name Eve." That's not...
What a suspicious looking button. I wonder what it does.
There's blood on the porcupine quill that the blood belongs to Dr. Carrington. The letters C and P are carefully written in blood. The glass on the clock face appears to have smashed during a struggle. The clock appears to have been broken at exactly 12:04 a.m. Porcupine quills, which appear to have caused Dr. Carrington's demise as they pack, creating multiple perforations in many of his... Countess and Ziggy at 1 a.m. Medieval armor display. Don't touch it. It's the intercom. It's the pale right hand of Carrington's corpse. Dr. Carrington's head holds no clues that you can discover. It's dripping blood. 2 letters written in blood. Numerous hefty... Don't touch it. You don't know where it's been. Upon close inspection you see... Upon close... That's not... Upon close... That's not the... Upon close... First editions of... Numerous hefty tomes on the topic of medieval armor. Numerous hefty... A large format illustrated version. That's not the sort of thing you want closely. Don't touch it. Don't touch... Numerous looks. numerous hefty numerous looks. First editions. Don't touch it. While the topics of these books interest upon close while the topics of these books interest this bookshelf is dedicated to the topic of music. This bookshelf is dedicated to the topic. This bookshelf is dedicated to the topic. Joe Bob's Weapons of the World for 1926. Joe Bob's Weapon. This bookshelf is dedicated to the topic of art history. This bookshelf is dedicated to the topic of museum security. While this is an interesting approach, it serves no purpose. The president looks. Upon close inspection, that's not the... Don't That's not... Looks. Numerous hefty tomes on the topic. It feels not wanting to remove evidence from the crime scene. First edition. Looks. Numerous. The collected works of Knut Hamsun, Norwegian novel of the soil, won him the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1920. A large format Look. First edition. That's upon close inspection. That's not the... It's a upon... That's upon... Looks. The collect... Don't touch it. Don't Upon close, that's not, looks, look. A large format illustrated, numerous, looks. Rubbing the charcoal over the note, a wedge of the fine, a lacy black garter with the name. Upon close looks, it's the book. Looks, numerous, upon, that's not, it's a that's not, it's a magnified copy of. You pick it up and place it in your purse. By reading a few lines from the book, you gather that the book is so well made, it looks like it will last. You read a police report on the criminal career of one Watney Little. The file contains an amazing list of various degrees of larceny. Glancing at the top of the page, you note clipped to the outside of the folder is a small handwritten notes or service. A magnifying feels like the red stain on the paper cutter blade had an accident.
Well, well. Good evening, Countess.
What are you doing here?
I just happened to be hiding behind the tapestry.
You're lying.
How could you tell?
Nobody just happens to hide behind a museum tapestry.
And nobody just walks around inside a museum late at night with paintings under their arms.
Paintings? Oh, you mean these paintings? I just found them laying around on the floor and I picked them up so no one would step on them.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Are you accusing me of something, you silly girl?
What do you think?
I think you're a rude girl who needs to learn some manners. The nerve going around accusing people of stealing paintings.
Did I say anything about you stealing them?
Well, of course you did. Don't try to trick me, girl. I've got more tricks than you have brain cells.
One thing I have to ask myself is, why did you bring those paintings to a meeting with Dr. Carrington this time of night?
How did you know I was meeting Dr. Carrington?
I found a note beside his body.
His body? You talk about him like he was dead.
Yes, he is. Dead as a doorknob. You didn't know about it?
You're trying to trick me again. Dr. Carrington is alive and well and working in his office.
Well, you're right about him being in his office, but he's quite dead, I assure you.
Oh, my God!
And you seem to be a logical murder suspect.
Wait a second. You're not going to pin this one on me. I didn't have anything to do with it. Why would I want to kill him? We've got a perfectly good art burglary scheme going.
Art burglary?
I think I said too much.
If you're trying to convince me that you're not the murderer, you're not doing a very good job of it.
What do I care what you think anyway? You're not a cop.
But I am a reporter, and I could write about you in the newspaper. Of course, your reputation would be ruined, and the police would get very interested in you. But you're tough, so I'm sure you could handle it.
Look, it was just a little deal I worked out with Dr. Carrington. An art forger duplicates the paintings on the wall of the gallery. Then we hang them up in place of the real ones, which we sell to private collectors.
Didn't you think someone would catch on after a while?
Are you kidding? That's the beauty of the plan. When we had replaced all the paintings, we were going to slash them and make it look like someone vandalized the real paintings. No one would ever think we'd go to the trouble of forging paintings just to destroy them. And Carrington is here to see that no one gets too nosy.
You mean he was here?
I swear I didn't have anything to do with his death. He was my cash cow. I brought him over from Europe just for this reason. Now that's it. I'm not saying any more about it. I don't feel like talking about...
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm sure I don't know anyone by that name, Miss Bow. Quite sure. My, what an intense gentleman he is. Why, he's practically obsessed with the dagger.
It's you. The faceplate on the armor is slightly open. Your clothes. Dr. Carter's body has been indelicately cramped, and the skin is puckered where the helmet's edges budding flesh. Rubbing the charcoal over the notepad has a wedge of the This is the door.
Please don't be angry, my darling. It can't be helped. Please, my dearest, don't run away. Soon, I promise, soon. That's my darling. That's my dear one. We'll go back to my office soon, and I'll give you what you want.
You hear nothing of You don't. You hear nothing.
Something I can do for you, Miss Bo?
You hear nothing. You don't. You hear nothing of interest.